Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. So welcome to Sunday Satsang, October 2nd, 2022, Radha Kunda. And we're very happy to have so many devotees here. There's, can you go upstairs? There's 2 chairs. You can bring them downstairs. If you want some chairs. There's more chairs upstairs. So anyone has any questions? That's the idea here. Welcome to Vrindavan, Radha Kunda. Nice to see you. That's right, he shaved up too. Whole family. Your wife didn't. Questions? I'm going to try Bob. Okay, great, thank you. Follow.
Maharaj, I want to know your opinion. What is actually love, like spiritual love? What does it mean?
What's your idea?
What is actually spiritual life? What does it mean?
Love.
Spiritual love. This is on. It's on now. What is spiritual love? Is the auto on? The auto red light on. Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Question is, what is spiritual love? So the answer is Srimati Radharani.
Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.
Praying Srupini Radharani ki jai. Mahabhav Srupini Radharani ki jai. Any other questions? She is a be-all and end-all of spiritual love. If you want to know what is spiritual love, you have to study the character and behavior and bhav and mood and meditation and Leelas of Radharani and her associates of hers, her Sakhi Mantris, or mother, father, everyone. Then you'll understand the character, nature, and behavior of someone who's a pure lover of Krishna, the purest lover of Krishna, Srimati Radharani. So this is what the Goswamis have done. The Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das, etc., Jiva Goswami, Sandas Goswami. They study Radharani's love from seeing it and experiencing in her Mantri Swarup. So they came here 500 years ago with Mahaprabhu in her Sadhaka Rup as the 6 Goswamis to teach the world about the love of Radharani. This is a great gift of Gaudiya Sampradaya. And this is what we're supposed to attain, this gift we're supposed to attain. We're supposed to become servants of Radha's love and servants of Krishna, being loved by Radharani. So you study the books of Goswamis and pray to their mercy. Some of those drops of Radharani's love will come in our hearts. Because they are Amsha Radharani. They are the 6 Goswamis, the Astamantri, called Astas Goswamis or Astamantris. Loknath Goswami and Krishna's Kaviraj, Manjulali and Kasturi Mantri and Siddharup. They are expanded from Radharani's Kaya Rup. They're expanded from Radharani's Swarup Shakti, Rantaranga Shakti. They're direct manifestations of Radharani's Ladni Shakti and her Prem. So they appeared as Goswamis to write Ilakusamanjari, Stavali, Stavamala, and Radharasudhanidhi, and all these books that we're studying in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, being taught on the path of Raganuga Bhakti, they're all revealing the nature and love of Radharani, and revealing the nature of spiritual love. The primary quality of spiritual love is selflessness. Selflessness. Both have the word self. As one is self, ish. And selfish, when someone is selfish, he or she is the ish of their attention and their affection. Self-ish. Ish means ishtadevata in Sanskrit. Yeah, we say isht or ish. Ish means controller, lord, master. One she was named Isha. So the word in English, selfish, is very nice because I myself means I, me, I'm the Ishtadevata. I'm the center of existence. Everything is about me. Everyone's supposed to serve me and take care of me. Number one. But selfless is selfless, the Ish. Selfless means selfless minus the Ish. Then you become selfless. But if you take away the false Ishtadev, it becomes selfless, then you have to substitute for the real Ishtadev. The real Ishtadev is the Prem Devata Radharani. The Ishtadevata of Prem is Radharani. No one knows about Prem except Radharani. Krishna doesn't know anything about Prem. He's Vimugdha. Bhagavan has two qualities. One is Sarvagya, one is Vimugdha. Sarvagya means he knows everything, and Vimukta means he knows nothing. He knows everything, he forgets everything. Vimukta means Vimo. Vimukta means Vimo. He forgets everything in the presence of Radharani's love. He becomes a slave and a servant to Radharani. He brushes Radharani's hair, he paints her toenails, he paints her feet, he cares for her like a humble dasi. And it's the greatest fortune, she considers my greatest fortune is to be a dasi of Radharani. So that's why he appears as Mahaprabhu. It takes the seva bhav and prem and happiness Radharani feels by being the prem swarupini Radharani. So we're also supposed to become selfless lovers of Radha and Krishna. But we have to move out that ish out of the way. The ish is a big problem. Self-ish. This English word selfish means everything for me. I'm the center. I'm the A to Z and everything in between. And you can see examples of spiritual life. You can see examples and drops of Radharani's love in the lives and character of the great saints of Gaudiya Sampradaya, even living today. You see the lives and characters of great saints like Pran Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, Das Babaji Maharaj, and so many other saints living in Braj. They're showing what is selfless love. Their character, behavior, their speech, their activities, their exchanges with people. You can see clearly, graphic, tangible, touchable experience. This is unusual. This is something extraordinary. I never experienced this anywhere, any place in my life. Who is this person? What is this Bob? Why is he acting like this? What's his ulterior motive? He wants my money. He wants my wife. He wants what does he want? He wants love of Krishna, boss. So you associate these people. And if they like you, and they show their sneha to you, then they'll give you some drops of their love. Then you go forward like a speed car, like a race car in a Grand Prix track. Boom! They go so fast, 350 kilometers an hour, 400 kilometers an hour. God, crazy fast. So that's when you get some love in your heart, you can go so fast, so far. I see some disciples, overnight they got initiated, next day became crazy. They became crazy for service, not like going to the psychiatric hospital. They became crazy, mad to do seva. And they keep sending me emails, what about this? God, what happened? I wish I made a mistake. I shouldn't initiate me. Every other day the disciples sending me a question. We can do this, we can expand preaching like this, we can do that. Well, slow down. You're going too fast for me. I had an old race car. I have a new model. Russian model. High tech. Anyway, that's transformation power of Diksha mantras. Is that okay? It's a long subject. You'll experience someday in your own life, you'll experience what is spiritual life yourself, what is spiritual love yourself. You're on a path of attaining spiritual love. The path of bhakti means transcendental love, divine love. Nothing less, nothing more. Radhe, 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 Radhe. What's the question? Baba, you've been quiet for weeks, man. You're too excited about Karti, you can't speak anymore. Okay, good.
In the Bhagavatam, when Uddhava comes from Mathura and Radharani's talking to the bee,
Yeah.
in the Bhagavatam it doesn't mention it being Radha. How was it come to understood that it was specifically Radha? I mean,
Good question.
She isn't mentioned specifically, but now we know it's Radha, but how did we find out?
So the question is in 10th Canto Bhagavatam, chapter 46 and 47, it describes Uddhava Mahashaya coming to Vrindavan to carry a message to the Brajvasis, messages to the Brajvasis, and also to the Gopis, and especially Radharani. And so then he met all the Brajvasis, and finally met the Gopis and Radharani. And Radharani, Uddhava was saying so many things, trying to speak Gyan Yoga and Sankhya philosophy and Avatattva Gyan, all these useless things. And then Radharani was just looking at this guy, what's he talking about? What's this nonsense? The guy's a bhagavad, he's supposed to be Uddhava Mahashaya, supposed to be Brihaspati, Shiksha, Sakshat, Brihaspati Shiksha. Shishya is supposed to be a direct disciple of Brihaspati, the Devata, Guru of the Devatas. And he's speaking like a Pagal rickshawala from Vrindavan. So Radharani wasn't the least bit impressed. So she didn't even speak to him, but one bumblebee flew on the scene and started buzzing around. So she started speaking to him, started speaking to the bumblebee. It's called Brahmar Geet, means a song to the bee. We have Bhagavad Gita is a song of Krishna to Arjuna. Uddhava Gita is Krishna's song to Uddhava, teachings. So Brahmar Gita is Radharani's teachings to the bumblebee. And the Charya's comments say the bumblebee is Madhusudan. Madhusudan is Shamasundar God, Krishna. So he has a Nantarupam, he can take unlimited forms. So one form becomes a bumblebee avatar. Bumblebee avatar, and he appears in Mathura, Vrindavan, to hear from Radharani what is the truth of love. So the question is asked, how do we know that bumblebee, Radharani's the Gopi, because someone's speaking to the bumblebee and it's not Uddhava, so who is it? So how do we know it's Radharani? We know it's Radharani from the commentary to the Acharyas, basically. So the Acharyas, because how do they know? You ever hear someone go, eyewitness news? Eyewitness news, here we are with CBS right in the scene, I'm right here. They're blowing the guy up right in front of me. See, look, boom, there goes his head, boom. So the eyewitnesses, Radharani wasn't alone talking about me. Rupa Manjari was there, Tulsi Manjari, your Guru Sakhi Manjari. Everyone was there with Radharani, because Radharani doesn't go alone, she goes in entourage. Especially her maidservants, they go wherever she goes, like a shadow, like a chaya. So they heard it all, and they wrote about it, and they revealed it in their books and their tikas. the B is Radharani, I mean B is Krishna, and Radharani is speaking of that B. Another thing you can understand the nature, the quality of speech. You know, you understand that no one can speak like this unless they're the Guru of Prem. Only the Guru of Prem can speak. You cannot understand, like sometimes they see some lectures and some articles all over people's Facebooks. And I said, I said, well, that's mine. I read the article, I said, that's my article, I wrote that. They copy and paste and deleted my name, put their name on it. It's their Facebook and they have an article. I said, oh, that's nice. But I read it, I said, this sounds like me. I said, it's mine. You know, Kali Yuga, everyone's shameless, you know. So, okay. So there's a story, Prabhupada tells the story in this connection during the independence movement of India, where India is trying to get free from British domination. And there were some famous leaders of the revolution against Britain, And one of them was S.C. Bose, a Bengali colonel, and some other very literary persons, very intelligent people from Bengal. So they were always publishing articles, and they were in Hindi and Bengali newspapers and circulating them here and there. And so Prabhupada said there was one person who was a very good writer, very expert at stirring up people's minds and turning people's minds in Bengal against the British. And he was famous for his writing and his style. So articles would appear with no name on them. And so Prabhupada said, everyone knew by reading that article, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so Chatterjee or so-and-so Banerjee. So he was hiding in different places, Darjeeling in different places in India, he was hiding because he was wanted, dead or alive, by the British government. They knew who he was. And he had great power of speech, he had Rock City. So when he wrote something or spoke something, everybody got fired up. Okay, let's go, let's kill this guy. He rallied up everybody, fomented everybody into revolution. So Prabhupada said, everyone can understand that this is so-and-so by his style of writing. So his style of speaking to Brahma Gita, all the acharyas and everyone who knows Radharani, there's no one else speaks like that or thinks like that or feels like that except Radharani, not even Lita Vishaka, any of them. So this kind of talk that Radharani spoke to only Radharani and only Radharani alone can speak it. So it's concluded as Radharani. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. So, nice question, very nice. Yeah, Bumblebee is. Krishna's everywhere. Bumblebee bit my lip. Madhusudan bit my lip. My beauty mark. Vampire beauty mark. My true identity is revealed. Slept over last night. Okay, what's the question? Italian question is right. Okay. Yeah, okay, of course.
Maharaj, what is Bhaum Prakat Leela?
What is it?
Bhaum Prakat Leela.
Bhaum Prakat Leela.
Bhaum Prakat Leela. You missed it. You're 5,000 years too late. Almost, but you missed the train. Indian trains leave on time. They can promise you to leave on time, but they can't. They're very quiet about when they're going to arrive. You ask them, and go, well, somewhere near time, give or take 6 hours, give or take 6 to 8 hours, maybe more. They leave on time. They got to get out of the station and make way for another train. So Krishna, Prakat means manifest, seen, visible, and Brahma means the earth planet. So when Krishna comes to the earth planet, it's called Bhoma Prakad Lila. But he's always here. The Acharyas say Krishna's always living in Vrindavan. He doesn't come down, he doesn't descend. Avatar means one who descends. Avaroha and Avarohapanta and Arohapanta. Arohapanta means ascend and Avaroha means descend. So Avatar means one who descends. So we say descents of the Lord. Incarnation is the wrong word. It's a descent. The appearance, it descends from spiritual realm. But the Acharyas say Krishna is, of course, the Sarvavatari. He's Sarvavatari, but he doesn't descend from anywhere in Vrindavan. He's always in Vrindavan. Nitya Sanihito. Nitya Sanihito, it says in the 10th canto, first chapter. So it says, Nitya Sanihito means Krishna is eternally living with Tirumandal. Nitya means eternal, Sanihito means living, residing. So Krishna doesn't appear from anywhere. Ram appears in Ayodhya and disappears and everyone this, that. But Vrindavan Dham is different because those are holy dhams. This is Krishna's home. This is Krishna's heart. This is not holy dham, it's the heart of Krishna Radharani. You call your heart's holy dham, you know. Your heart's your heart. So this is the heart of Krishna, heart of Radharani, is Vrindavan. So they say he's here now. So if you're here in Vrindavan and you see Krishna, then you're seeing Krishna's uppercut Lila, which is not manifest anywhere else, was manifest to you. So when you're meditating here, living in Vrindavan, and meditating at the level of Bhava or Prema Bhakti, and you see Krishna's Lila, what you're seeing is the uppercut Lila in Golok Dham. Krishna reveals the uppercut Lila here in Prakat Vrindavan to the Prema Bhaktas and Bhava Bhaktas. So Prakat becomes Aprakat, and Aprakat becomes Prakat. Prakat becomes Aprakat for ordinary people, ordinary devotees, but Aprakat becomes Prakat for advanced devotees. Jaya Radhe. Okay, Radhe Shyam. Very good. There you go. Okay, Radhe Shyam. Questions? Shamapriya, put down your paintbrush and ask a question. You're here. You're Shamapriya. Are you Shamapriya or what's your name? Shama Ramani? I confuse you. Sign your paintings Ramani and you're a Ramani or you're Priya or you're Priya Ramani or Ramani Priya or Priya Ramani or who's Priya or who's your Ramani? Who's your...
I'm just hiding behind it.
However, okay, cool. Nice, both names are nice. I see your painting. That's like this guy, he didn't put a signature on his article so everybody knew. So she says, Sham Ramani, but that's Sham Priya's painting. So she has this, every artist has a style. So she's painting the same style with a different name. So everybody says, what is this? Lee's cracked, you know. Getting too old. Getting cracked. You get more cracked when you get older. I'm solid proof. Yeah, right. You're enjoying?
Maharaj, when we think Krishna, today I tried to make sketch and then I was thinking, oh my God, what kind of tilak to put to him? I don't know. Because, now all these, before I didn't know about different parivars, so I was just looking on all paintings he had like this, like we had in this club. So now I don't know what he wears.
We've dealt with this question many times before. I won't speak again because you're asking again. They're always asking what kind of tilak was the design, what is the look of Krishna's tilak. We read from different shastras. Govinda Lila Amrita and other Lila Granths. And it describes Krishna's tilak. First of all, there's nothing on his nose. And he doesn't wear a Advaita Parivar tilak. I can say neti what he doesn't wear. He doesn't wear a Nupura tilak of Shamananda Sampradaya. He doesn't wear the Vans Patra tilak of Advaita Parivar. Vans Patra tilak of Nityananda Parivar. He doesn't wear the Vat Patra banyan leaf of the Advaita Parivar. Like this. He doesn't wear any of those tilaks. What he wears usually is an Arda Chandra with a dot in the middle of it. Almost looks like a Muslim flag or something like that. You know, it's a smile, like you paint like a smile between his eyebrows, it's like a smile, and in the middle of the smile put a dot. That's one thing, or just a U. And his tilak is made of gorocham, which is yellow-green or kasturi, which means black musk, or kumkum, it's red. So you can paint a tilak red or black or kind of green and yellow. Not much yellow, more green than yellow. That would be more accurate. And if you have Indian audience or people, and Indians have the money anyway. They get wealthy. So better you paint like, because that's what Indian paintings. Indians usually see Indian paintings, usually it's a U in red, or well, also that Chandra, and that's what he actually wears in Nitya Lila. Vans Patra, Nityananda Parivar, or Banyan Patra, Banyan Leva Vita Parivar. But when devotees paint different paintings, they do like that. Well, you shouldn't do like that. You know too much. Well, you should act on your knowledge. Life is meant for acquiring knowledge and acting according to your knowledge. Jaya Radhe Shyam. Nice question, thank you. We're doing Shringar Seva every day. Chitra Kala is Shringar Seva. Arshan and also Smaran, Lila Smaran, Dhyami Smaran. You have to do a lot of meditation. Very good seva. We got questions from our two regulars. We can't bother them anymore. Baba and Brahmachari, two Babas, they ask questions. So come on, you guys, take up the lead. Anurag, hey, Anurag, hello, good morning, wake up. Oh, Jay, here we go, you got 20 questions lined up.
Maharaj.
Right.
In the last Sunday Satsang, you were telling us about Gaur Leela that happens here eternally in this material world. So Maharaj, I have a question. Does anyone aspire to get into Gaur Leela, or can anyone aspire to get into Gaur Leela?
Does anyone aspire to enter the Nitya Leela Gauranga? Just go to Calcutta and ask this question. Go to Calcutta and ask this question, and 25 million people will say yes. And ask them about Krishna. Oh, okay, whatever. Krishna is in the heart of Mahaprabhu. Krishna is in the mind of Mahaprabhu. So all Bengal, all Assam, and Orissa, that'd be their answer. And any other voice here and there. And you can have two srups. You have one srup in Krishna Lila, one srup in Gaur Lila, one srup in your mother's Lila. Take another birth. That's an interesting Lila. Your mother launched you in a Lila with 4 aspects of that Lila. Janma, Mritu, Jaravyadi, Dukkha, Doshana, Darshanam. Birth, death, old age, and disease, and in between all kinds of suffering and misery. That's the package we got from our mother and father. That's the deal we got from our mother and father. And our karma, of course. But the Guru comes along and gives you a spiritual body to free you from the cycle of birth and death, enter Nitya of Krishna. That's a good deal. Material father gives you a temporary body, and a spiritual father, Guru, gives you Nitya, eternal Swarup, Nitya Sharira. It's called Siddha Swarup. Siddha Deha. Perfect spiritual form. It's perfect. We should feel the form my Guru gave me. It's perfect. I'm the most beautiful Gopi in Vrindavan. That's our ahankar, spiritual ahankar. Our beauty is for Krishna's happiness and for Radharani's happiness. You have another question, your long list of questions? Okay.
Maharaj, how to reduce our attraction towards name, fame, pratishtha?
How to reduce our how to reduce our desire for name, fame, pratishtha. Well, first attain it, then we give it up. First attain it, first attain distinction, and then renounce it. You can renounce it before you experience it, it won't be full renunciation. First become famous, become distinctive, then renounce all and surrender to Krishna. Then you'll give up your desire for distinction. There's no other official way. That's the biggest, last and ultimate hurdle of all spiritualists is distinction, pratishtata. The word in Sanskrit and Bengali, pratishtha, means institution. It means institution like international society or institution. So whenever you have institutions, a university is an institution, you have so much pratishtha. Oh, he's an associate professor, he's a full professor, he's a dean of the school, he's a chair of the department. So much pratishtha is there. He has a master, he has a PhD, he has 2 PhDs. He has a triple PhD. He published 20 books, New York Times bestseller. Big pratishtha. I once met an editor of a famous newspaper in Delhi. He took me to his house. I was amazed. The guy is very famous and a great author. And in his house, from the floor to the ceiling, it was an apartment, it was a house in South Delhi. About 9 feet, 3 meters high ceiling. This is 11 feet, a little more than 3.5 meters. It was like 3 meters high. And from the floor to the ceiling was bookshelves on every single wall, every single room. The guy was about 6 years old at the time. He said, "See all these books?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's bigger than a library." I said, I read all these books. I said, "What's your conclusion?" I said, "What's your conclusion?" And he held up the Bhagavad Gita. He said, "This is the conclusion." It was a Gita Press Bhagavad Gita, sorry to say, but it was a nice book. Gita Press with some commentaries by Ram Suk or some other acharyas there in Gorakhpur, Ramanandi Sadhus, Ram Bhaktas. He said, "This is the conclusion." Wow, I'd never seen that except in a library. So he's such a famous person, and so you're in Delhi. I said, "Can I use your bathroom?" So I went to use the bathroom. And in the bathroom there was a 100-liter plastic bucket, big balti, 100-liter, underneath the faucet of the shower. There was a loaded there to scoop out water. I said, "This is amazing. I'm from America. I never been in somebody's bathroom and saw a 100-liter bucket under the shower under the faucet in the bathroom." I said, "Why is that?" "Oh, because the only mist of water only comes once a day. We had to collect as much water as we can, because there's no more water after that. The guy's an editor of the biggest newspapers in India, big house and big money and big fame, and this is the situation in India. He has to store water for the rest of the day. We take a bath with that, and we this, that, and this, and that. Wash our clothes. 100 liters has to go 4 people's baths, and I said, this is the difference between India and America. There's some, India has some way to go. So anyway, so this is the idea. What's your question now? Yeah, another question? One more, last one. That's it. 3 to a customer. Oh.
Maharaj, what if we do any aparadh, how can we do prashchit for that aparadh? Like, what should we do in that situation to get out of that aparadh?
We do aparadh. What do you mean? There's different kinds of aparadhs. What kind of aparadh?
Vaishnava aparadh,
Okay, one at a time. So Vaishnava aparadh, how do we do prayashchit, which means atonement, to get out of the aparadh? In a bhakti yoga, there's no prayashchit, there's no atonement. We don't counteract any bad activity by some pious or punya karma or some other yagya puja, mantras or anything. In bhakti, we just do bhakti. We do Navaveda bhakti, and that eliminates our problems and anarthas. So when you offend a Vaishnava, there's a protocol of proper behavior which is prescribed in the books by the acharyas. They say that particular Vaishnava you offended, you're supposed to approach him and pay him or her or whomever. And with folded hands and your head bent down, say, please forgive me, I made offense to you. And then you pay obeisance at their feet. You don't say, please accept my humble obeisance, that's ridiculous. There's no need to say that. Say, please forgive me, I've made offense. Then you bow down at his feet. You're not asking to accept your humble obeisance. Well, he says no. And how you offer obeisance? So you don't ask a stupid question to ask. You just offer obeisance. And if he accepts it, that's your good fortune. If he doesn't, that's your bad fortune. So he said, please forgive me. And so the nature of devotees is forgiveness. The 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam says the primary quality of a Brahmin or one with Brahminical sattvic type of brain and intelligence is forgiveness. It's called Arjavam. Arjavam in Sanskrit. Arjavam means forgiveness. He forgives transgressions and aparadhas and offenses easily and quickly. So the soft-hearted Saralata Vaishnava will generally immediately forgive you and maybe give you some preaching and give you blessings to avoid that again. Offenses arise from a lack of bhakti. When bhakti is less, offenses are more. Bhakti illuminates the heart with love and knowledge. So when you have knowledge, you know what to do, how to behave, how not to behave. When you have love, you know how to help and serve and push others forward, not to criticize and put down. That's very low demoniac consciousness, to criticize others and put them down. Very animalistic, bestial type mentality. Beast. Yeah, okay.
I wanted to ask you, Maharaj, I heard manjaris, they can feel the heart of Srimati Radharani. But can manjaris also...
They don't feel it, they're in the heart. There's not, you're saying, if I feel your heart means I'm separate, I am separated from you. So I say, I feel your heart, there's an I and there's a you there. Right? I say, I feel your heart. But in the love of the manjaris, there's no I, no you and me. It's the one. There's not two hearts, there's one heart, Radharani's heart. So what's your question?
Can they see what she sees?
They see everything. They feel everything.
Okay, so I'm asking this question because I was reading one Leela, and then I started to see like some pictures came to my mind, but I was seeing from the perspective how Srimati Radharani sees Krishna, and then I got a desire to paint that moment, and I didn't know like is this correct?
I'll do it, but it doesn't certify that that's an experience of a Spurti or Radharani. As such, the divine visions or experiences only come to very elevated souls. But in your meditation, because it's a constant object of your meditation and seva as a painter of Radha Krishna Leelas and portraits of Radharani, etc. That's called prarana. Prarana means inspiration from the super soul to help you fulfill your desire to serve Radharani. So that's good. You accept that as a blessing of Krishna. Whether you want to, I wouldn't jump to a conclusion and read into it that I'm seeing through Radharani's eyes and feeling through Radharani's heart. That's a universal leap of exaggeration.
I never thought like this. It is just that for a moment I was thinking how she feels, and that was making me happy to do.
That's good. Everything's positive in meditation. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm just trying to explain. Accept these as gifts from Krishna because you're sincere about your service, and Krishna is revealing different things to bring something out of you. Bring something out of you in a creative world of art to paint and represent and serve Radharani. So accept that that's what's going on. More than that, don't. That's guesswork. That's sentimental. It's not real. But keep going. Keep painting. I've been 10 years, I've been telling you to keep painting. Right, Shah. Any questions over there?
About devotional service. I was wondering, would I be able to make any devotional service? Because how can I understand when I'm making devotional service or I'm making service for myself? Will I be able one day to really make real devotional service?
What's your question?
How to understand that whether I am serving myself or I am doing devotional service? Will I be able to do at one day the service of devotional service? Real devotional service.
Yeah, I think you already got it.
Dory's asking a question. How I know I'm doing devotional service or just serving myself? There's something called Sarv Siddha Bhakti, which means activities of Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaranam, hearing and chanting, remembering Radha and Krishna. So if you're hearing and chanting, remembering Radha and Krishna, you're doing Bhakti sadhana. Anything other than that is following the orders of your Guru, do other sevas, and that's also Bhakti sadhana. The primary Bhakti sadhana is Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaranam, hearing, chanting, remembering. So this is called Sarv Siddha Bhakti. We perform this in our sadhana group, and we perform this in our Siddha group, and this type of practice brings us to perfection, so it's called Siddha Rup Bhakti. So that everything else is related. Sleeping is also Bhakti, eating is also Bhakti, bathing is also Bhakti, buying a new sari is also Bhakti. It's all part of Bhakti because all these things are necessary for devotional expression. So there's auxiliaries and subsidiaries of Bhakti, but they're called Anga Bhakti, Sangha Bhakti. They're not directly hearing and chanting, remembering Krishna, but they're part and parcel of what makes a devotee a devotee. We need to bathe, we need to sleep, we need to eat, we need to buy vegetables, You go online, get organic grains shipped to our room. Organically grown rice and dal from South India, shipped by Amazon. We don't eat chemical grains over to Krishna. So that's all that's all bhakti. Devotional service is a broad highway, not a narrow highway. But specifically, the purest evidence of devotional service means sadhana, means bhakti. So Swarup Siddha Bhakti is hearing, chanting, remember Krishna, Shama, Kirtan, Vishnu, Swaram. Everything else, that's auxiliary, related to bring us to that. The main thing is that. Most of our day we should be spent doing these three things. Not that we're on the internet all day, surfing and shopping. We should be hearing and chanting, remembering. Minimize everything else. We have to sleep, so we sleep the minimum. We have to eat, we eat the minimum. We have to dress, we dress whatever we need to be respectable and acceptable in social circle. That's it, Bob. That's all good. More cooch. Is that a question? Yeah.
The question is how to understand the difference, for example, when one is chanting a very beautiful kirtan, how can we understand if he is expressing a devotional feeling or if he is only like imitating some devotional feeling? How we can understand the difference between imitate devotional feeling and real devotional feeling?
How can we understand if someone is doing kirtan, a very beautiful kirtan? How can we understand if that person is actually getting the devotional feelings or imitating some devotional feelings? Differentiation.
Sadhya. Kind of like sadhya.
Whether it's an imitation of a devotional service activity or whether it is really coming from the heart, devotional feelings coming from the heart.
Question is asked when devotee does kirtan and he or she has some feelings arising from their heart. And what's the rest of the question?
Whether it is devotional feelings coming out or the imitation of some devotional act.
Are these devotional feelings or imitation? What is imitation of devotion? If you're a devotee, you have devotional feelings. At least you're not saying your boyfriend's name. You're chanting God's name, Bhagavan's name, and Krishna's name, Radharani's name. So name transforms. There's a verse in Evam Vrata. What's that verse? That's a nice verse. Well, my verse books, I can look at these. You do too many verses, you're too smart. Smart guy. I could ask you, where's Govinda? He's not here. Ask you or Govinda or him, I get all answers. I'll do my homework. I know the verse, I just can't remember. This is a verse from 11th Canto, Bhagavatam. 11th Canto, Chapter 2, verse 40, and it's quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita in two places, which means it's a very important verse to know. It's quoted at least two times in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Adi 794 and Atya 3179. This describes a kirtan of someone is chanting kirtan full of love, full of Krishna prema. Evam prata swa priyanama kirtya. Evam prata swa priyanama kirtya. Jarana rago juta chitu che. Asatyato roti gayat Yanodvan Nrityati Lokavaya. It's a famous verse. It says, in the heart of someone who has attachment for Krishna's name, and he acts as if mad. He bursts out laughing. Hasati, Rodati, Gayati, Juta, Jata Anuraga, an Anuragi Vaishnava. When Anuragas appear in his heart, Druta Chituche, his consciousness melts, his conscious heart melts, and Uche, he loudly chants. He chants, he laughs, he cries, he dances. He becomes unmad, becomes mad, and then he starts dancing. Lokavaya, he stays far away from public opinion. He doesn't give a damn what people think about when he's dancing. Right? Lokavaya, loka means people and vaya means way external, away from me. Lokavaya, Onmara Nrityati, he madly dances. Well, that's on the high end. You see, when he chants Hare Krishna, he sees Krishna before his eyes. He starts dancing in order to please Krishna. Krishna appearing in front of him. He doesn't care who's around him. That's a great verse. So he has to become mad. That's how Lord Chaitanya chanted Holy Name and danced. He danced like a madman down the road in Rath Yatra. The Grand Road in Jagannath Puri. He danced totally mad. Golden volcano of divine love. Blowing up, erupting everywhere. So that's the high end. So we're chanting. So there's that other verse from Skanda Puran. Madram Madram Eta Mangalam Mangalanam Parigitam Sakrit Parigitam Helam Va Shradaya Hela Sakrit Parigitam Shradaya Helam Va. That's the nature of the holy name. Anybody who chants the holy name, it creates auspicious. Mangala Mangalanam, it's the most auspicious of all auspicious things. Madara Madaranam, it's the most sweet of all things. So anyone, whether new or old or in between, so where you fit in the picture? Are you new or old or in between? Well, not old yet, not new. I'm in between. So new, old, or in between. Everyone experiences happiness, joy when they chant Hare Krishna. Everybody. A guy comes out the street, he's just coming down from LSD. He comes in the Second Avenue Temple, he comes to Kirtan at 7 o'clock in the evening. He's ecstasy, jumping out of the water. Haribo, Haribo. You hear that Kirtans recorded in 1966 New York City, called Vintage Kirtans, BBT Vintage Kirtans. I hear these guys madly yelling in the background. You have a good stereo. You can hear all glories of pure devotion of Krishna! The guy yells out, everyone said, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada just sing all tune over, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He'll sing all tune for 20 minutes and building higher, 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 getting crescendo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And this guy goes, Hare, all glories of pure devotion of Krishna! His voice breaks because super high pitched like a soprano girl or something. Ah! So, he's a crazy acid freak in the audience, but he's experiencing ecstasy. Because pure devotees he's leading kirtan, Prabhupada's leading kirtan. You can hear 1966. The best tapes of Prabhupada are 66 or 69. If you want to listen to Prabhupada's lecture. 1966, 69. There are all kinds of talks about Vrindavan, and Prabhupada's always talking about Vrindavan temples and Vrindavan, this, Yamuna. After 69, everything changed. I used to listen to those all the time, over and over again. 66, 69. And special flavor, special bhav, special enthusiasm, special excitement, special innocence, and spontaneity, which was lost as the years went on. Chant, dance, be happy. I'm chanting, dancing, I'm not getting happy though. That's your bad, Carl. Questions? 7 days. How much stuff do you have? So all I have is moved out even. I said, we're collecting, what's for pratyahara. That's 70 pratyahara. These people are moving out of apartment. It took them 7 days. They live in one little apartment. Husband and wife took them 7 days to move all their junk. 5 people were helping them move. 5 people, 7 days. 9 hours a day times 55 hours to move 2 people's junk. Unbelievable. You might have a question, have we collected too much? Sadhus travel around India with a shoulder bag around their shoulder, a little bag and a little blanket on their back. That's it. That's their home and everything. Home, bathroom, living room, dining room, kitchen, everything. That's over the top. I said, someone's going to, when you come on, we're going to help move, we're back in 3 days. I call her 5 days. Oh, I'm back in 7 days. Oh my God. Okay, Radha Sham. Questions? Vishwa Deepak.
What lesson can we learn from the story of Avanti Brahman? Because he concluded that mind is the Manaparam Karana Mamana for the cycle of birth. How can he is like, everybody is criticizing him, but he remain, what's his consciousness?
What is he saying?
Avanti Brahmana story.
Avanti Brahmana story.
Avanti Brahman.
What can we learn?
I want to know.
What can we learn from his story? Means Krishna.
Avanti Brahman's story is in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. It's also called the Avadut Brahman. There's actually a Gita called Avadut Gita. An Avadut Gita, which is extraction of the teachings of the Avadut from 11th canto of Bhagavatam. It's mostly about Sankhya Yoga and this type of thing. So what's your question? What you learn about...
What can we learn and what destination he got? Like, means he...
Where he
Krishna
went?
told,
I don't know where. I haven't read this story a long time. I don't know. He asked where he went. I don't know. He went to Krishna. Maybe he goes to Krishna in one form or another. So I don't know exactly the answer where the Avadut Brahman was his destination. He went to Tapaloka. He went to Siddhaloka. He went to Siddhaloka, Tapaloka. He went to Siddhaloka is where the Paramatma yogis go that worship Vishnu. So I don't know where he went. What we learned from him, what we learned from the Avadut Brahman is to keep our ears and eyes and heart open, so we can learn from everywhere and everywhere. He learned something everywhere he went. He saw everything as he had 24 gurus, means he had unlimited gurus. The dog is a guru, the cat is a guru, the bird is a guru, the arrow maker is a guru, everyone's a guru. So when you think you're small, everyone's bigger. When you think you're foolish and small, everybody's bigger than you and everyone can teach you something. If you think you know it all, you can't learn from anyone. They have a phrase in America, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So you convince somebody, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So you convince somebody, you should become Hare Krishna. Okay, I should Hare Krishna. So he does it, then a week later, I'm leaving. I don't believe in this, I'm going back to yoga. Okay. And he got convinced against his will, and then his will asserted himself. So, Avadut Brahman teaches us to always learn something from someone. Everyone can teach us something. If we have a humble heart is open heart. Open heart means, humble means in lower position. Anything is lower position, everything flows from higher to lower. The rivers flow from the mountaintop to the ocean, not from the ocean to the mountaintop. So water hits the mountain. The mountains have mouths. The mountains have mouths. It's called Parvat Mukh in Vedas. So when it rains, the mountains open their mouth, and they drink all the water during the rainy season. But now the rainy season, open their mouth and let out a waterfall. The waterfall comes down the mountain. You see, when it's not rainy season, you go throughout the Himalayas, you go from Hardware to Himalaya, Badrinath to Kedarnath, see Himalayas, see holes in the mountains everywhere. And there's nothing, it's all smooth. Outside, the bottom of the hole is all smooth, 200 meters. There's nothing, it's a waterfall, it's dry. It's winter time. But in the rainy season, that hole is called Parvat Mukh. It's the mouth of the mountain. The mountain drinks the water, keeps it inside, and puts it out later. If it's a lot of water, the water keeps flowing from the waterfall without stop. So, I got lost the audience.
Water flows from.
Yeah, water flows, yeah, thank you. The water flows from top to bottom. So we're on the bottom, and the knowledge can flow from the higher to the lower. Srinada Peace, we say, Tavidi, it says, Krishna says in Gita 4th chapter, verse 34, Tavidi pranipatina paribrishna sevya udekshanti te gyanam gyanastadadarshana. This pranipat means I lie at the feet of my guru. That's for that represents receptivity. I lie my ego, I lie my heart, I lie my ears at the feet of the guru. Fill up my heart and fill up my ego and fill up my mind with spiritual love and transcendental wisdom. That's what pranipat. Pranipat means to lie like a stick. Pranipatena. Then you ask questions and inquire and you get knowledge. If the guru is the top of the jnana, he can give you knowledge. So that's the teaching of the Avanti Brahman. He was a Brahman, so he had all good qualities. His primary quality was humility and intelligence. He observed, and with his keen powers of vivek, his keen buddhi, his intelligence, vivek, discrimination, he accepted this and rejected that. He learned so many things from nature, from other people, from nature, from animals, and from other people. He learned so many things as he moved around the world. Once I met a Western professor, a famous professor in New York City. I met him in Vrindavan. I said, "Do you have a guru?" He said, "Vrindavan's my guru." I said, that's very good. That's very good. Vrindavan's my guru. He said, "I've been coming here for 20 years. I come to Vrindavan every year. I have a house in Raman Gera, and he has an apartment in there, in that complex in there, rents an apartment in some Vishwazi's house or something. I've been coming here for 20 years. Vrindavan's my guru. Whenever I come here and spend time, Vrindavan teaches me so many things about spiritual life." So anyone who lives here learns a lot. Survival techniques. 108 survival techniques. How to deal with cobras in your bathroom. Scorpions in your shower. It's an art. I catch the scorpions and throw them outside the door.
Snakes on the street. Snakes on the street.
Scorpions, there's no tree because you go to catch them and they tip their tails. Oh, and why you mess with me? I said, "Oh." So I was carefully, shoot, in the tip and take them out. Throw on the street, go bite somebody else. Scorpions. Yeah, all these, so many lessons we learned in Vrindavan. What's the time now, Shiva? 5-6. A lot of times I ask you it's 5-6. 5-6, magic number. Nimai Nitai. Hello, sir. Jaya Radhe. Any questions? Questions? When Radharani came? He came yesterday, you weren't here. You missed her by one day. Where's the tilak? No tilak.
From morning time I put him.
Okay, gone, disappeared.
After
After making 55 rotis. Washing 5 people's clothes. Tilak disappeared. Magic, I don't know.
next week I will bring my cloth here, dish it here.
Okay. Very good.
And fresh I put.
Okay. Inspection. Okay, Radhe Shyam. Govinda, any questions, Panditji?
Yes, good evening.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Today I was reading Hari Vilas. So in that Hari Vilas,
I sent it to you. I sent it to your file.
yes.
Okay.
In that Gurudev, after the invocations and after the table of contents and all that, the book starts with the rarity of human form of life and taking shelter of the Guru. That's where it starts and tells the whole discussion of the qualification of Guru and all. So my question here is that Gurudev, that human form itself is very rare and surrendering to Guru is also very rare in all that. So if that part itself is so rare, then why so many rules, regulations and all are described later on? Because initially shows that it is so heavy, that surrendering to Guru and taking shelter, and that's then why so many elaborate discussions on how we have to wear tilak, how we have to chant the mantras, how we have to worship the deities. Why so much elaborate things are given in the later part of the Guru? Because
I understand what your line of
means
thinking is.
by surrendering to Guru, we learn everything from Guru, not Gurudev. So why
Well, yeah, okay.
that that initially everything is given, like why the other part?
Why you need Hari Bhakti? If you have a proper guru, why you need Hari Bhakti? He asked you a question, a very interesting question. He said Hari Bhakti Vilas begins with the Mangal Charana prayers to offer puja and worship different gurus and acharyas, Sanatana Goswami and Gopal Bhakti Goswami. And then it describes about the qualities of Guru and need to surrender to Guru and the rarity of human birth. So after it talks about the necessity of surrendering to Guru, and the qualities of disciple also, and the qualities of Guru, why is the rest of the book, which is like 16 vilasas, 17, 18, 20 vilasas, this huge volume, why there's thousands and thousands of verses of how to do seva and how to do puja and how to do jamasmi and how to observe Ekasi Vrat and Kartik Vrat and all these vrats. Why? What's necessity? If you surrender to Guru, you learn all that stuff, you don't need all that stuff. So I said, yes, that's correct. If you surrender to the right Guru, you learn everything from the Guru. But in case the Guru wants to know what he's supposed to do, Hari Bhakti Vilas is a handbook for gurus. Knowledge is meant to be in the hand of the gurus, and the gurus give it out to the disciples. So you save a lot of time by learning from the Guru. So, for example, when they first, Bhanu Swami and some of the early devotees translated Hari Bhakti Vilas like 45, 50 years ago when Prabhupada was on the planet, Pradyumna and some of the great Pandit disciples of Prabhupada knew Sanskrit. They translated Hari Bhakti Vilas. They said, Prabhupada has so much good stuff. How are we going to follow this? Thousands of millions of rules, regulations. How do we follow it? He said, I'll make a 10-page summary. He said, make a 10-page summary. It's a 1,000-page book. In Hindi, it's 1,000 pages. It's a 1,000-page book, Prabhupada to make a 10-page summary. So they did, and that's basically a puja we followed. ISKCON, they made ISKCON has a puja handbook. That's part of the 10-page summary for Hari Bhakti Vilas, and we're still running with that. So that's more than enough to keep us busy. So basically, the guru is a teacher, so the guru teaches all these things. Shastra, Tattva, Sadachar, Archan, everything is taught by the guru. As you're learning, you've been with me for 5 years, I'm teaching all these things. That's another way to ask your question. What need is there for Hari Bhakti Vilas if you surrender to the right guru? So if you surrender to the right guru, you don't need Hari Bhakti Vilas because the guru will teach you everything you need to know. Which I've been also doing with you. I've been reading from Hari Bhakti Vilas. I tell you 20 things out of 500 things I read. I extracted the essence. That's the guru's duty. The teacher's duty is to take the essence of this knowledge and give it to the disciples, students. Questions? Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. Gopal. See, a bumblebee bit me.
Oh, I was wondering what that was.
It sounds sister, so I scratched the blood. My skin's not so cool.
There's so much nectar coming from him, Maharaj.
I don't know about that. Anyway, it's time for a few jokes. Time for a few jokes now. Questions? Sorry, Baba, you have another one there? Baba. Oh.
Should you react if someone calls you sadhya?
How should you react when someone calls you Sahaj?
So the question is, how should you react when someone calls you sadhya? You should fold your hands and bow your head and say, thank you for the compliment. If someone calls you, you're a sadhya, you bow your head humbly and fold your hands, say, thank you very much for the compliment. Can you glorify me anymore? That's a great glorification to say sadhya. Because sadhya means natural. And there's nothing more natural than pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is the fullest expression of a liberated soul. It's pure bhakti. So if someone says sadhya, it means you're fully exhibiting the fullest nature of the pure soul by showing love for God. Is that how you respond? It's not copyrighted. It's free, open, public access. Yeah, next time. I've already used that. I heard that phrase a few times. Anyone in the audience wants to get the title sadhya, I'll give you a secret how to do it. If you want one of your friends to call you sadhya, I'll tell you 5 ways to get it. Talk about Radharani. Talk about Radha Krishna's Madhurya Leela. Talk about gopis. Talk about manjaris. Talk about Gopi Bab. Mention anything Saviks anytime. Guaranteed rubber stamp. Boom, boom, boom. 8 times 100% sadhya, sadhya, sadhya. Words are cheap. People have loose tongues in Kali Yuga. What's the first instruction of yoga? Vacho Vegam. Vacho Vegam Manasakrota Vegam. Control the tongue. No gossip, no brajaba. No nonsense talk. Everybody speaks nonsense in Kali Yuga. Well, it makes something noise. Like some cheap Indian fan. She's your guru. Jai Guru. Shamar Guru. That's religious. She's teaching how to be proper meditation. Okay. Yes, okay. Good to see you. Okay. Is that enough? That's okay. Good night, Sadhya. Good night, Sadhya. Sweet dreams. Right, yeah. Okay, serious here. Questions? Anybody have a question? No, there's just one in your hand. Stan, come on, try to have a question. Ganapati Baba.
Maharaj, what is the attitude or mode we should be having while we are going to temples in Vrindavan, temples or Vaishnavas? What is the basic attitude that we should follow, etiquette or attitude, mode?
What is the attitude or bhav we should have when going to take darshan of Thakurji in the various temples of Vrindavan, like Radha Raman, Radha Vallabha, Radha Damodar, etc., Radha Shamsundar. What is the attitude? So everyone in the audience, everyone on the internet, everyone in the audience should ask themselves this same question, because we all do this say taking darshan of Thakurji. Ask yourself, what is my attitude? What is my attitude? What is my thinking? What is my mood when I visit a temple? So what's your answer? I'm asking you the question.
Maharaj, I don't.
You're a stone? Speak.
So that sadhus and Krishna showers mercy on me, so that I'll be seen by Krishna.
Why, say it again.
So when I go to temple, Radharani and Krishna sees me, or he has come for me, visiting me, to take my darshan. So
Radha and Krishna coming and take your darshan. You got it backwards. You got it backwards, John.
they shower mercy on me. So there's a person who has come for watching us, Radha and Krishna seeing me.
Radha and Krishna are thinking, here comes a bhakti who's come to take our darshan, he wants our mercy.
So
That's what they're thinking. Well, what are you thinking?
I'm their man, so that
You're the Kripapatra.
yes.
Kripapatra, you want to be the recipient of their mercy. So he says he goes as a beggar of mercy.
Yes,
Right.
yes, Maharaj.
So my attitude when I go to see how darshan of Rahman, I beg for mercy. Someone else wants to give an answer? There's someone who takes darshan all the time. Please speak.
I heard in a class, and he said we want to be seen by Radha and Krishna. We should, when we go to the temple, we should sit down. It's not just a formality. We just go, hello Krishna, and just walk on. We should sit over there. We should really look at the deities. We should pray. We should.
Where did you hear that?
Praise.
Where did you hear that?
From Amarendra's lecture, Amarendra Prabhu's lecture.
Yeah, that's correct. That's one answer. That's also very good. Some people are in a hurry.
We shouldn't be. I mean, when we go to the, I'm never in a rush. When I go,
Yeah, she's making a point when we go to take darshan, we shouldn't stop and go. It's like when I was in Bombay, in Juhu Beach visiting ISKCON there, there's people that run on the Juhu Beach. Juhu Beach is nearby. It's really close, 5 minutes. So they jog up and down the beach, and they have their track shoes and their jogging pants and T-shirts, Adidas and Puma and all that stuff. You know, girls and guys. And they come up, they run up the street, enter the temple, take off their shoes, and they come. They don't break their step. They keep their step, their running step. They run the temple. They don't pay base. They run. They see Gaudiya, they go. They keep running. And they go and they run out of the temple. They run and keep their speed, running step, basic step, speed. They go. I said, wow, there you go. Yeah. So that's not the way to go. It's a little too fast. I lived in Radha temple for 3 years inside the temple, living in Prabhupada's kitchen, doing seva there, 1989 to 1992. When we lived there, we always noticed the Rajvasis. They take darshan, they pay obeisance, they go 4 times around Prikwa, and they go on the way out of the temple, they sit down. There's a little ledge there on either side. Usually temples have little platforms by the door. So there's a platform, you can sit on the platform, like a seat. So everyone would sit there for a minute to look at the deity, because that's the devotional principle. You're supposed to sit down before you leave the temple. So this lady's saying, I always sit there for some time and drink in the mercy and blessings of Krishna. It's a good idea. When I take darshan of Radhaman, I pray to Radhaman, please bless me with prem. That's all I want from Krishna. I don't want anything else. I say, please bless me with Radha Govinda prem. Bas. I pray the same thing every Thakurji. That is a necessary element. Nothing else is required. Prem includes everything. So everyone has their own mind and own heart and their own attitude. And it's all perfect because it's individual devotional expressions. There's not one answer to this question. It's a subjective answer. Varies depending on the devotee. The advanced devotees, they go to for Krishna. Like, for example, there's this devotee described in Bhakti Rasa Descendant, her name is Chintamani. And Chintamani was a Gandharva. She lived in Gandharva Loka. So one day at Ekadasi, she had a murti of Krishna. She said, Krishna, I'm a Gandharva, I'm going to dance. And she set the murti on the table in front of her. And she got dressed up in her most beautiful outfit, the earrings and kajal and everything very beautiful. And she said, I'm going to do Ekadasi Jagran. Harivas Jagran. I'm going to stay up all night. I'm going to dance for you from sunset till sunrise. And so while she was dancing, she said, Krishna, look at my dancing. Look at my mudras. Look at my spin. Look at my jump. I'm dancing better than the gopis of Radharani and you and the Rasa dance. Do you see how good I'm dancing? So she was dancing. So Radha Krishna took notice. There in Goloka, they said, Radha, said, look at this Gandharva. Chandrakanti. Excuse me, her name was Chandrakanti. It's in Bhakti Rasa just in Chandrakanti. She was dancing. And Rari said, Krishna, look how she's dancing. She has the ego, she has the ahankara, she's dancing better than me. What do you think? Krishna said, yeah, she's good. we need another gopi like that up here. Let's bring it up here. I'll take one more. Krishna's always greedy for one more premium bhakti, you know. So Radharani came and appeared to her and said, come with me, and gave her a siddha, and she went to the spiritual world. So here's an example of someone taking darshan of Krishna, dancing in front of their murti, thinking they're not begging for mercy, not begging for praying, they're just doing seva by dancing in front of them. Sometimes professional dancers of India, they come to Radha temple. I've been there in the evening, they have darshan, I've seen them. They dance, they play, they have their band in the back and they play ragas. And these famous Indian dancers, Padma Shri Award winners, and famous Bharatanatyam dancers and other kind of classical Indian dance, they dress up and they dance to Radhaman like a Gaudiya Vaisnava. So they're not thinking, Krishna, please bless me and bring Krishna. They're saying, Krishna, be pleased with my seva. So there's different ways to answer that question, depending on your bhav and who you are and how you feel.
There's also just one more thing I heard was that it's like, it's romancing with Krishna. It takes time and takes efforts and we should be just patient. And anudina, we just go.
It's romancing?
Yeah, it's like when we're going taking darshans.
You're saying romancing?
Romancing. It's not like I'm using it. It is like an, what is it called? Like romancing takes time. When a boy or girl starts dating, they go like it takes time. They invest time into each other. So likewise with Krishna, just using it as an example. I'm forgetting the word that. So it's like when you're with Krishna also, it takes time, it takes effort, and we have to invest ourselves into Krishna, into Srimati Radharani, into bhakti, such that we can have that prayer, what you're saying, like please give us prema, and we have the taste.
Yeah, another person is saying when I take darshan, I'm trying to increase my loving attachment and intimacy with Radha and Krishna as their eternal loving service. But love takes time to develop anywhere. So she said, I spend a lot of time sitting in front of these, so it gives time for Krishna to get to know me, get to understand my heart and mind, get to feel me and get to feel my love for him and feel my sincerity, and me to feel his love and sincerity to reciprocate with me. That's very nice. That's very personal, very loving approach to taking darshan of Krishna. That's very nice. Thank you for that. That's on the high end of taking darshan. Develop feelings. So you're an advanced soul. Other question? Yeah.
So going on to that point about darshans, so if an individual is in front of the deities and then tears arise, what is the appropriate way to deal with that? Should an individual leave the situation where they're face to face with the deity, or should they, what's the appropriate way to behave in that situation when tears arise?
If someone's taking darshan of Krishna and tears appear in their eyes, they start crying, what should a person do? Should they stay there and fill up the temple floor with tears? Or should they leave the place? There's no one answer to that question also. When I lived in Radha, there was one Bengali Vaishnavi, Gaudiya Vaisnava, lived across the street. She's a famous Gaudiya Vaishnavi nowadays in Vrindavan. This was in 1990. This was 35 years ago or so. She would come over to take darshan in the morning when no one was there, around 10 o'clock in the morning. And she would stand right in front of the altar, her hands folded, not moving, like totally in samadhi, looking at the face of Damodar. And tears would start rolling down her face. I was once coming up to take darshan behind her. I didn't know who she was so much. And I felt a heavy energy coming from this person. So I kept my distance. They were alone there. I felt this person communicating with Damodar. I shouldn't interfere with her private exchange. So I didn't even get too near. I was on the same upper platform. You know, go down or you go up close. So I stood on the side. I couldn't see these. So I was looking at her face, and she was crying, and not for no show. It was just her and God, just her and Damodar. So later I inquired, who is that? And the Mahanta of the temple told me that's so-and-so. She's famous, this and that. So I had darshan of the face of a premi bhakta. So on the high end of things, people who have love for Krishna can cry when they see their beloved. On the low end, it's just different emotions working on her heart and mind. It's not praying, it's not an expression of praying for neophytes like us. But it's some emotions, positive, it's good. So I stay there and cry. But generally we find that advanced devotees, they try not to make it show. So this lady, I saw many times she would come to darshan and she was crying, not very not noticeable. You have to look and you just see, you can see tears are falling from her eyes. She wasn't making any outbursts or anything. She was very subdued, very quiet, but it was going on. So usually advanced devotees are praying, they try to conceal these symptoms. They don't try, they have control over their senses. Of course, crying is a sattvic bhav, which is involuntary physical reaction to sattva existence changing in the heart due to sthaya bhav. So you can't control tears, usually. So, better cry than not cry, let's say that. Bottom line is crying is better. Of course, women have an advantage there. The women tend to be more satar, which is good. In love, there's no rules. This is an expression of love, either reflected love or pure love. So there's no rules governing when you can show love. You can't show love now, you can show love now. You can't show love on Monday, you can only show love on Tuesday. No, love doesn't know rules. Follows its own. Love is its own rule. Love establishes its own kingdom, and in that kingdom, the king, the queen is love, and love makes her own rules. Sweetie, still sweetie. 7 days work, falling asleep, holding her head up in the class. She sent me a message this morning, any service stream, I wrote back, can't let her sleep. I don't think you followed it. Didn't follow my instructions. Should have slept till 3 o'clock. Okay, Radhe Shyam. Now it's 5:36.
Yes, Maharaj, 5:36.
5:40?
34.
2 minutes.
I have a question. I like it when I go to Nidhi Madan, they say clap and laugh. And that gives me more energy than just sobbing and crying and like this whole material world is sad anyway. And that's what we're trying to really escape, because we don't want to be miserable, we don't want to be sad, we want to eternally be Satchidananda Vigraha, be like Krishna. We want to be associating with Krishna.
What's your question, please?
So my question is that, like you were explaining that prema, those quiet movements are high. I've lost my question. I was just trying. I've lost my question. I'm so sorry.
It was nice entertainment.
Wait a second.
You got lost in Ivan, clapping your hands and laughing.
I have a question regarding, maybe you answered many times, so please excuse me. Why Srimati Radharani likes to wear this big nose ring? What is significance of that? And also, I heard that this, how you call this, pearls?
Nose pearl.
Yeah, it can be white and red, different colors, and there is significance that she's expressing certain moods there.
Usually it's white. I never read red. I never read in Shastra red. It says it reflects the color red and black and explains what that means. It's white pearl. It's usually pearl. So what's the question?
So, first is like why she likes to wear this big and.
This is the decorations are all eternal. Radharani's decorations, big earrings, small earrings. It's all transcendental paraphernalia of women in the spiritual world. Krishna doesn't wear it. So it looks beautiful. Krishna thinks this looks beautiful. Everything she does, Radharani does to make Krishna happy. So Krishna likes it, that's why she wears it. That's what devotion means. Do everything because to make Krishna happy. It's easy to answer that question. Why Ryan wears little earrings? Why Ryan wears big earrings? Why Ryan wears any earrings? To please Krishna. There's nothing more confusing or complicated than that. It's not a, computer science question. Haritoshan. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The complete perfection of the complete city is to please Krishna. So Radharani is a Haritoshan city. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Tosha means satisfied, please. Please Hari. So Radharani is the best one at pleasing Krishna. So if you want to please Krishna, wear big earrings and big nose rings and but the ways are simple. They like to be simple. Indian married women wear all kinds of things like that. But the shoe fits wear it, so it's not fitting, so don't wear it.
I heard something in a lecture. May I share?
Was it related to this nose ring or?
No, it was saying that whatever Radharani decorations wear, like if she's wearing, I don't remember exactly what they were saying, if she's wearing a peacock earring, then that means she wants to meet Krishna near this area. If she wears like these many dots on her here, that represents something. If she's wearing some gopi dots over here, that will significant that Krishna only has to come alone. Radharani only wants to see Krishna alone. If she wears one more something, it was with decorations. It was saying then Krishna can bring Madhumanga with him. Radharani's alright with that. And if she's wearing, I don't know, but it was just something like if she's wearing matsa, fish
Makar Kundali.
yeah, then that means something. And if she's wearing...
So what's the question?
Not a question, I just heard that. I heard that like she was saying, what is the significance of wearing small and big? So that
I didn't hear that part of the question. So one way is saying some acharyas or some comments have been explaining about Radharani's jewelry is a form of communicating to Krishna. She wears particular number of gopi dots, different types of earrings and different types of jewelry and earrings and gopi dots to indicate where to meet Krishna, to indicate to Krishna, come alone, come with your friends. So that's very esoteric. It's not written like that in the Goswami books. I read all the Goswami books. It's not mentioned anywhere that way, but it can be that way also. Yes.
What is the main thing which helped the disciple to develop a relationship with Gurudev? What's the main thing?
Well, it's the main thing that helps the disciple develop a relationship with the Guru. Main thing to develop a relationship with the Guru. What's the main quality that helps the disciple develop a relationship with the Guru? A humble, serving attitude. A humble, serving attitude. An attitude of, I'm a humble servant of my Guru. That will develop a relationship. Because relationship is a relationship of love. Guru is called Guru Shishya Prem Sambandha. Guru Krishna Prem Sambandha. So the prem, relationship of prem between the disciple and Guru determines relationship of prem between the Jiva and Bhagavan. So humility is the foundation of prem. Humility is the ultimate expression of prem. It's so everywhere in Anantadasa's books and commentaries. Humility is prem means humility. Humility means prem. Prem bhav means dainya bhav. No dainya, no prem, no dainya. Dainya means humility. Vinita, Dainya, humility, humble serving attitude. Always be ready to serve Guru. Always be enthusiastic and excited to serve Guru. Like when I had some devotees, I asked them to do service, and the devotee writes back to me, "Thank you very much, Gurudev, for giving me the opportunity to render service." They thanked me. I said, "This is correct, this is right, quite perfect attitude." I have a very important expression that's very profound. Service is a privilege, not a right. The service of Krishna, the service of Guru is a privilege, it's not a right. It's not a birthright by being born a human being. We don't have any birthright to be a Sevite, servant of Krishna. It's a privilege, it's a gift, it's a privilege given to us by Guru. Service is a privilege, not a right. So we're privileged, we're special, we're fortunate, we're given service. If one's given personal service by the Guru, they're very fortunate. Very rare. Probably 5,000 disciples, how many are doing personal service? 1, 2, 3, 4. A cook, a secretary, a translator. Personal, Babu Seva. Very few. Babu Seva, Jiva Goswami comments, I don't remember where I just heard it, that Jiva Goswami says, relationship between Babu Seva and Vani Seva. Relationship between serving the form of the Guru and serving the words of the Guru. Serving the teachings and shiksha of the Guru and serving the personal form of the Guru. Cooking for the Guru, washing Guru's clothes, cleaning Guru's ashram, or whatever. Selling Guru's books, whatever. This personal service directly to the Guru. I can't remember where I read it. Jiva Goswami says, if one gets the opportunity to do Vapu Seva, personal service to Guru, that will help him very quickly realize the Guru Vani. He'll realize the true import and meaning of Guru Vani. By Guru Vani means Vani Seva, by doing Guru Vapu Seva. So the devotees that get a chance to personally serve the Guru are very fortunate, but it's like a razor's edge. Because it's like gambling. You can win big or lose big. If you go to the casino, you can win $1 million one night or lose $1 million. So when you're that close to Guru, it's very easy to become envious and offensive. Irshya, envy, aparadi, offender, nindak, Guru Ninda, Vaishnava Ninda. Jaya Radhe. Don't be scared. Fools rush in where angels dare not.
Many of us don't get a chance to serve our spiritual master personally. So should we be just sad and morose, or should we just be happy at least we get to see him and we can say, Hari Krishna dear Gurudev, so nice to see you. We're so happy that you're back, and we can listen to his lectures. And then is that also service, like just looking? Then I heard Prabhupada lecture, and then I felt
Okay, good. Everything's right. Any other questions?
No, I want an answer.
Don't be so demanding. I'm not your husband. You can boss me around, you can't boss me around. The answer is everything is good. You have opportunity to serve personally, it's nice. If you don't, it's also nice. If you have any opportunity to serve Krishna Guru, it's fortune. You're lucky. That's all. Don't be so greedy for more fortune. If you get it, good. You don't get it, okay. No big thing. No cause of lamentation or anger or envy. Oh, you got to serve, I don't, I'm envious. That's not like that. That's very offensive and wrong, non-devotional mentality. Who? Who? Yeah, about it, yeah.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
how to become selfless?
Oh, back to square one, huh? How to become selfless. Surrender to Guru. Surrender has 6 forms, and we can see them in relation to Guru and in relation to Krishna. Anukuyasa sankalpa pratikuyasa varjam rishishititi vishwasa vojutani varanam tata adanikshiva karvanye sadgita sharanagati. The 6 sins of surrender mentioned in Bhakti Sri Sindhu, other places. Accept everything favorable for Guru's happiness. Reject everything unfavorable for Guru's pleasure. The simple way you want to become selfless, ask yourself this question. Anytime throughout the 24 hours a day, ask yourself this question. Would Gurudev be pleased with what I'm thinking right now? Would my Gurudev be pleased with what I'm thinking right now? Would Gurudev be pleased with what I'm doing right now? Would Gurudev be pleased with what I'm seeing right now? Would Gurudev be pleased with what I'm speaking right now? If the answer is no, 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 you're in bad shape. It's time to get retread on your tires. Change your tires. So that's how you know you're selfless. You know you're living for Guru. If you can answer yes to all these questions, you know you're sacrifice your life for Guru. That means selfless. Selfless seva means sacrificing yourself for another's happiness. This is Radharani. Radharani is personification of sacrificing everything for another's service. Okay.